Welcome to Movie Hoarder News. I am your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos. Let's get right into it. First, we'll take a look at the Blu-ray releases for the month of July. We're going to go up until possibly July 14th. So July 2nd, Band of Brothers in the Pacific will be released on Blu-ray as a 2-pack. On July 5th, the film Sheffy from 1977 will be released on Blu-ray. And now July 7th here, 2020, we're going to have a lot to talk about. We got War of the Worlds, the complete Lindsay Baker box set. Trolls World Tour is coming out. The Day the Earth Caught Fire, The Flesh and the Fiends, Space Invaders. I love that film. It's a classic 90s movie for me. I love that movie so much. Black Rainbow sounds interesting as well. That's an Arrow release. Looking forward to that. And Death Warrant, of course, with Van Damme. That's going to be definitely one to collect. That's a wonderful film. Zombie for Sale looks like a good time as well from Arrow. Neuroses, another Jess Franco treat. Let's see here. Go Go Mania, I'm not familiar with that. How Heavy Are the Dumbbells? I know that show. It's a really funny anime about these girls who want to better themselves at the gym. Really fun show. I recommend that one. Ozone sounds familiar, but I don't recognize it. Okay, we've got some more anime here. We've got this thing, Blood Mania. I don't know that one. Herschel Gordon Lewis. I'm not familiar with that. If anyone is, let me know what that could possibly be. I don't know it. Next, we got some more anime. Girls, Guns, and Blood is not anime, and Five Must Die. They sound like a good time. Horrorthon. Looks like that's Volume 1. Not sure what that is. July 8th, 3:15, Night Visitor, POW, The Escape, and Psycho Savages. They all sound like solid gets. Haven't seen any of them with purchase for sure. July 10th, Ultraman, The Birth of Ultraman, 7 Women for Satan, sounds like a blast. Sins of the Flesh, Porno is a newer film. And then Adam Le Postillon, I'm going to not pronounce that. July 14th, we get the big drop of stuff. We got the Bruce Lee box set coming from Criterion. Kiss of the Vampire is coming out. Mr. No Legs. I'm so excited for that movie. I already pre-ordered that. Classic, weird crime film. Return to Savage Beach with the amazing Julie Strain. Some W.C. Fields film right here. A film noir box set, The Dark Side of Cinema 4. Number 4 on that one. Natalie, Escape from Hell. Looks like a blast. Bloodshot 4K. I don't know who's interested in that, but that will be available. I remember that Snapdragon movie. It's been I saw that one a long time ago. Enter the Fat Dragon. I'm excited to see that. I'm a big Donnie Yen fan. That will be available. Hiroshima is coming out through Academy Arrow, I believe. Next, Jungle Holocaust. Not a super fun watch, but hey, there you go. It's going to be on Blu-ray, not from 1977. Tokyo Gore Police. Highly recommend that movie. Really, really fun film. And VHS. I don't know anything about it. I'm not sure if it's a documentary, but that will be out. So check out the Bruce Lee discs right here. Enter the Dragon. Look at that cover. That's an amazing cover. I've never seen that. I don't know if that's I'm guessing that's an individual release. I'm not sure. And then that Thor looks like an Asylum film, a rip-off film right there. End of Days. I don't know how many people are going to fall for that one, but we'll see. Plenty of anime as well. Game of Death 2. And then Pure Melon Love? Oh, no, Mellow Love. Okay, well, I don't know what that one's about, but it looks like it's absolutely not for children. Then there's that film Reborn with Barbara Crampton. Funny enough, a little trivia, I was up for directing that film, but it didn't work out. My vision was not what they were looking for, but it's okay. Then some things aren't loading. And July 17th, we'll leave it for the next movie hoarding video. Scorpion Releasing will be adding 2 new titles to its Blu-ray catalog. Jose Maria Zalbzah's The Fury of the Wolfman and Paul Flaherty's Clifford. They will be available later this month. Fury of the Wolfman features Waldemar Daninsky, which is my buddy Paul Nashi, as he travels to Tibet and is bitten by a yeti, which causes him to become a werewolf. I'm not sure how that works out, but there you go. He's accidentally killed after he attacks his cheating wife and her lover, and is later revived by a female scientist who uses him in mind control experiments. Well, that's certainly bizarre, and the Daninsky movies are known for their bizarreness, but they're always a ton of fun, so I recommend it. Next is Clifford, with Martin Short and Charles Grodin. When his brother asks him to look after his young son, Clifford, Martin Daniels agrees, taking the boy into his home and introducing him to his future wife, played by Mary Steenburgen. Clifford is fixated on the idea of visiting a famed theme park, and Martin, an engineer who helped build the park, makes plans to take him. But when Clifford reveals himself to be a first-rate brat, his uncle goes bonkers, and a loony intergenerational standoff ensues. I didn't realize. I guess I'd forgotten that it was about a theme park. But that's a fun movie. Clifford's a great movie. Let me take a look at this Fury of the Wolfman cover. Look at this. I mean, this is worth price of admission alone. God, gorgeous colors on that. I assume that's a slip. Purchase for sure. Kino Lorber details 5 upcoming Blu-ray releases. First up, we have Fellini's Casanova. The incomparable Federico Fellini directs this visually stunning portrait of Casanova, the infamous Italian womanizer, adventurer, author, and libertine, played by Donald Sutherland, of all people. Gotcha, I remember this movie. I love this movie. It's about a hapless with the ladies college freshman Jonathan Moore convinces his parents to pay for a European vacation, hoping he can lose his virginity overseas. Things go a little out of hand when he meets Linda Fiorentino. It's a fantastic movie. Havana. High-rolling poker player Jack Wheel Redford is trying to make one big score in 1958 Havana, a pleasure seeker's paradise on the verge of revolution. That's a great movie. The Milagro Beanfield War in the tiny town of Milagro, New Mexico, where the local water is a premium resource. Shady developer Lad Devine has conceived a glitzy resort that will ultimately siphon off all the water from the neighboring crop fields. That's probably not going to go over very well. Incidentally, that comes out September 29th. Variety. Betty Gordon's Variety is a landmark independent film that challenges common notions about feminism and pornography, which Kino Classics is proudly presenting in a director-approved 2K restoration. Wow, look at that. Lots of specials on that one. And here's the lovely, sensuous cover to Gotcha. Love this movie. And we've got some good news, potentially, for Monster Vision fans. John Squires writes for Bloody Disgusting that Joe Bob Briggs teases the official release of a Monster Vision TV series. I'm not sure if that's possible with the rights issues and things, but this would be amazing. Before that was Shudder's The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. There was TNT's Monster Vision, a beloved Saturday night staple for horror fans that Joe Bob began hosting in 1996. Briggs played the role of a horror host for the show, introducing different horror movies each week and popping up to talk about it. The show lasted until September 2000. The final episode aired on July 8th, 2000, and included Children of the Corn 2. To date, Monster Vision has yet to receive an official release of any kind. However, Vinegar Syndrome's Blu-ray release of Ice Cream Man does include the entire Monster Vision episode, which is fantastic. But Joe Bob Briggs took to Twitter to say the following. Just a heads up. Anyone offering Monster Vision box sets, DVDs, etc. is a bootlegger, and your $50 to $80 is going to get you an incredibly crappy image, even worse than what you can already find on YouTube. Just wait a few months, and we'll have something official. Now that is fantastic news. If we can get an official release of Monster Vision, folks, that's going to be a solid get from almost everybody I know in the community, because Monster Vision is not only a fun show, but it's important for film fans. Mondo is releasing a new poster for the cult film Rad. Jeremy Conrad writes, the 1986 BMX film starred Bill Allen, Lori Loughlin, Talia Shire, Bart Connor, Ray Walston, and Jack Weston. It is limited to 175 pieces, as it was supposed to be given out at a screening of a 4K restoration at this year's South by Southwest Festival, but that did not happen. So, lucky you, if you guys were among the few who were able to get the Rad Blu-ray from the Vinegar Syndrome sale, the halfway to Black Friday sale, then maybe you'd want to add this poster to your walls and relive the magic of the movie. Look at this artwork. That's quite beautiful. That is quite wonderful. Look, yeah, the colors are intense. I mean, I kind of was expecting something a little better, but that's not bad. I'm not a huge Rad fan anyway. The poster will sell out, however, so if you want it, there's only 175 of them, so snap it up, my friends. Collector's edition of Hammer's Phantom of the Opera, available August 11th from Screen Factory. Josh Milligan writes, Herbert Lom stars as the Phantom in Hammer Films' celebrated production of Gaston Leroux's horror classic, arriving on Blu-ray August 11th from Scream Factory. This collector's edition of The Phantom of the Opera is a 2K scan from the Inner Positive. Now, I've actually never seen this version of Phantom of the Opera, but I'm excited to see more of it. The release of this acclaimed film is loaded with bonus features, including a new audio commentary with film historian Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, plenty of featurettes, an interview, and looks like there's an interview with my pal, C. Courtney Joyner. I'm excited to watch that. He's a very knowledgeable guy and a great filmmaker to boot. I'm sure you all know the plot, but there is a sort of a breakdown. It looks like it's a pretty faithful adaptation of the novel, which, by the way, is a fantastic read. Here's the special features listed a little easier. The commentaries, The Man Who Made Hammer, Anthony Hines, interview, Phantom Triumphant, an interview with the author, making of the opera. Okay, here we go. Phantom of the Opera cover. Look at this cover. That's a gorgeous cover, and that fits right in with all the other Hammer Scream Factories. Kino Lorber announces its home video releases for August 2020. The 15-movie slate begins rolling out August 4th with Code of the Freaks, DVD only, a documentary from director Salome Chasnoff that presents the radical reframing and the use of disabled characters in films over the last 100 years. Capital in the 21st Century, a documentary based on the international bestseller by economist Thomas Piketty. Sonia, the White Swan, is a biopic about Sonia Henne, one of the world's greatest athletes and the inventor of modern-day figure skating. Oh, okay. Beyond the Visible, Hilma af Klint is a German documentary on Hilma af Klint, an abstract artist, long before the term existed, who was a trailblazing figure in her field, inspiring spiritualism, modern science, and the riches of the natural world around her. Wow. Lucky Grandma is the story of an ordinary, chain-smoking, and newly widowed 80-year-old grandma who is eager to live life as an independent woman despite the worry of her family. Okay, I can see that. I can see that being a movie, of course, not a documentary. A Different Story is a 1978 critically acclaimed film following the story of a handsome, charming, and intelligent gay man. Sorry, I lost the thread there. August 18th, we're going to get Forbidden Fruit, Volume 6. She Should Have Said No and The Devil's Sleep, two 1949 exploitation films that follow in the spirit of morality tales, such as the 1936 Reefer Madness and Marijuana. Then Guest of Honor is a film from Academy Award nominee Adam Egoyan. Then Conquest, I know this movie. It stars Mexican screen legend Jorge Rivero and is directed by none other than Lucio Fulci. That's sort of a sword and sandal type movie. And then Emma 2 Dance Spectacular is a children's preschool film, so I think we'll skip that one. The Reginald Denny collection consists of 3 silent features from the career of the debonair British star, The Reckless Age, Skinner's Dress Suit, and What Happened to Jones. Okay, so you get 3 films for the price of one. Reginald Denny, I don't think I've ever heard of him. Gordon Lightfoot, If You Could Read My Mind, explores the career, music, and influence of legendary Canadian musical icon Gordon Lightfoot. And then Benjamin, DVD only, is a charmingly offbeat, gay romantic comedy about a mess of a filmmaker juggling the anxieties and excitement of his upcoming film premiere. The Tobacconist is a film from director Nicholas Leitner about a 17-year-old Franz who journeys to Vienna to apprentice at a tobacco shop. There he meets Sigmund Freud, played by Bruno Ganz. Oh, that's awesome. I love Bruno Ganz. And the two form a quick bond. Trick Baby is a gritty story of the relationship between 2 Philly con men, Johnny White Folks O'Brien, a biracial man posing as a white man, and Blue Howard, a black man. Okay, so interesting. So it seems like a friendship, but on the wrong side of the streets kind of thing. Interesting. Some very unique films here for Kino and a lot of documentaries. So if anything floats your boat, add it to your list. MST3K fans, rejoice. Shout Factory unveils the Comic-Con at Home details. FYI, I'm a huge Mystery Science Theater fan. It was a big part of my formative years, learning about film and appreciating film. Here we go. Pop culture fans rejoice. Although the San Diego Comic-Con will not be held this year, Shout Factory is pleased to announce that it will be participating in the convention's official virtual event. Comic-Con at Home, as well as programming supplementary content from the company's streaming channel, Shout Factory TV. Misty's Worldwide can tune into the Comic-Con at Home channel on Thursday, July 23rd at 6 p.m. for the Mystery Science Theater 3000 panel. I joined Eric Adams as he leads a discussion with creator Joel Hodgson, former cast member Bill Corbett, who was Crow T. Robot, and J. Elvis Weinstein, who was the original Tom Sorrell, as they engage in some good old-fashioned Q&A. That's an interesting lineup for that panel. Hodgson for sure, but Corbett and J. Elvis, they never appear together. That's interesting. Shout Factory will also host a virtual booth through Comic-Con at Home's official website, where fans will see pre-order pages for upcoming releases, introductions to Shout Factory TV channels, Shout Factory's annual sale of con-centric titles, and a shopping spree contest in which 3 lucky winners will be picked. For fans who can't get enough con-related programming, Shout Factory TV will be streaming a marathon of pop culture favorites from July 22nd through July 26th, entitled Shout Stays at Home. Looks like they're going to have a ton of stuff like Ultraman, Leo, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, cult superhero films like Guardians and Rendell, Dark Vengeance, which I'm not sure I've ever seen, some graphic novel documentaries, one about Neil Gaiman, and looks like some of the older Shout Factory panels as well will be shown, and there seems to be like a ton of digital stuff to watch. And lastly, Arrow Video announces the July 2020 titles here from filmpulse.net. You guys probably know most of this, but I thought I'd go through with it and sort of give you an outlook. Adam Patterson writes, Arrow Video has announced their home lineup in the U.S. for July. The new Blu-ray editions of Zombie for Sale, Black Rainbow, Inferno of Torture, Hiroshima, Bloodstone, and Life is a Long, Quiet River. Arrow continues to bring the fire this summer with 6 new July releases that offer a little something for everyone. Arrow starts slinging the heat on July 7th with 3 titles, starting with Zombie for Sale. The Zomcom from first-time Korean director Lee Min-jae is the story of a giant pharmaceutical company's experiment gone wrong. The result? A revitalized zombie with the power of youthful life. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Also hitting stands on July 7th is the supernatural thriller Black Rainbow. That title sounds so familiar, but I can't place it. Rosanna Arquette stars as a medium that witnesses a hitman killing a whistleblower in her latest vision, and the hitman becomes aware of this and places the medium on the hit list. The final July 7th release is Inferno of Torture. Sounds like a blast. This is the film from King of Cult Teruo Ishii. The story centers on the high demand for tattooed geisha and the rival tattoo artists that wage war over their bodies. July 14th, Arrow Academy releases Hiroshima, the realistic retelling of the day the bomb dropped, from director Hideo Sekigawa, has virtually gone unseen since its initial release in 1953. Variety praised the film for its sequence showing the immediate aftermath of the bomb, calling it brilliantly staged and photographed quarter hour, which ought to go down as a masterpiece of pictorialized destruction and agony. July 21st sees 2 releases, Bloodstone and Life is a Long, Quiet River. In Bloodstone, a newlywed American couple heads to India to celebrate their honeymoon when they accidentally come in possession of a stolen ruby, getting them caught in the adventure of their lifetime. Bloodstone is directed by Dwight H. Little, who I think he did a Halloween film, if I'm not mistaken. Also, written by Nico Mastrakis. Life is a Long, Quiet River. 2 babies are switched at birth, leading to a witty send-up of class relations and family ties. This outrageously wicked French comedy from 1988 was nominated for 7 César Awards, winning 4, and became a cult classic. I don't know Life is a Long, Quiet River, or Bloodstone. I feel like I should know Bloodstone. That sounds like that's right up my alley. Anyway, those are the releases for Arrow coming up at the end, right up until August. I hope you guys enjoyed going through the movie hoarding news of the week. Please expect another one of these every Friday. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and prepare your wallets because they're going to hurt. That'll do. Thanks for watching.